Hi, I'm Nathan. Welcome to the first episode of the Pop Culture Podcast, What's Poppin', and I'm here with my guests.
Christian.
Mason.
And George, who's on every single podcast in TCFM. Literally. There's not a podcast
possibly.
I'm not in.
That's very true. Okay. So
Pat
we're
yourself on
going to
the
be talking about
back.
today we're going to be talking about some movies, a little bit of just trivia, things like that. Do we want to start with the Spider-Man?
Let's start with
Let's
Spider-Man.
just get
the Sony
Sony
drama
out of the
taken
way.
care of.
I'm kind of over it at this point.
So
but
if you don't know,
kinda
which you
not.
probably do because it's been happening and I'm not good at recording podcasts and it took me too long to get on this, Sony and Disney had a conflict about Spider-Man rights, and basically they split. Sony is done with Disney. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
From my sources, I heard Disney wanted 25% of the gross, grossing, all that stuff.
I think in this situation, Disney was being a little kid and they couldn't get what they wanted, so they were like, bye.
Well,
Bye-bye.
I mean,
You can't put all the blame on Disney.
Yeah.
You got to put some of it on Sony. Sony and Disney could have kept the same deal that they'd had, but both of them wanted more. And that's what gets the fan base
Sony
killed.
did
They
offer
want
the
more.
same deal, but it should not have been the same deal. Disney should have gotten at least a little bit more money because they had a set franchise that they
That's
knew
true.
was going to perform. When Spider-Man started in the MCU, they didn't know exactly how they were going to fit him in there and if it was going to be super successful. Now that they've found out it is one of the most successful franchises that Marvel has lined up, Marvel should, because they created that and that was all Marvel should be able to get more money than they had in the original deal. Not as much money as they're asking for, but more money than they had in the original deal.
Probably, how much were they getting last, in the
5%.
original deal? 5%, yeah. Then, a 10% increase would probably work.
Put them at 15%. Sony still gets 85%, and then Marvel still gets all the toys and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Money for
and
that
then
kind of stuff.
Sony still owns the rights to Spider-Man. They
Correct.
don't have to give them up.
Correct.
Yeah,
they're still
that's
going to make a
true.
bunch of money off that.
Now, I have an article pulled up here that says Disney rumored to be making new Spider-Man deal includes Venom in the MCU. So that would be Eddie Brock, Venom.
That
in the MCU.
that would be
That
so
means
cool.
that when the Venom Carnage movie comes out, that means that it's going to be incorporated into MCU and Spider-Man.
That would be nice to see.
That
would.
would be a Spider-Man Venom Carnage, like in the comics. Whenever Spidey and Venom teamed up to
Right.
beat Carnage,
When Venom was more of an anti-hero than a
Yeah,
actual...
that was one of the
Exactly.
best comics I ever read.
Yeah.
I personally like that idea a lot more than just Eddie Brock being his own solo character. Because once he gets incorporated into MCU, I think he'll start more looking like an anti-hero than a hero-type protagonist,
Right.
which he's not.
Yeah, he's an anti-hero. He's the definition of what an anti-hero
My
should be.
question is, do you think that will save the garbage? No, it wasn't terrible, but it just wasn't.
Venom
great.
wasn't a terrible movie.
It wasn't-
However, they could have, again, with a lot of movies, they can do a lot more than they did. What Venom could have done, though, is they could have incorporated more of let's say the journalist aspect of Eddie Brock. I don't think having him as a freelance reporter really worked. And then a side romance, that's accurate. But Eddie Brock was never that direct.
Yeah.
He was a cheat, but he wasn't that direct. And,
Plus,
yeah,
he was
blunt.
a photojournalist. He
Yeah,
wasn't an actual
he wasn't a
journalist.
journalist.
Yeah.
Right.
He was a
We
photographer
saw him
like
in
Peter
Venom
Parker.
Which I think-
on screen.
Yeah, I want to see their rivalry.
Place.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and
that'd be so
I don't
Yes.
think you use the Flash Gordon Venom. I definitely think you have to go Eddie Brock because Flash Gordon does not look like he could be Venom.
No.
As it's constructed right now. Now they could maybe make it work, but I definitely think Eddie Brock would be the way to go.
Yeah.
And hopefully they don't cast Topher Grace. as
Oh,
Venom.
hell no.
Well,
Who?
we could
Wait.
keep
I was the guy from
what's his
Spider-Man
name?
3.
what's his name?
What? Who?
The Venom from Venom. Like, who played
Tom
it?
Hardy?
Tom
Yeah,
Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Tom
Yes.
Hardy. We could keep Tom
Yeah,
Hardy
yeah,
as Venom.
he's
That
one
would
of the
work.
best
That
actors
would
working
work, but you
today.
definitely it would be confusing to audiences because if you saw Venom, it's not because you should not keep the same Venom that you had in the original Venom movie.
Well, I mean,
The actor was fine, like Tom Hardy was fine in the role. I don't think that story really works well with what the MCU.
And
is
if they're
doing.
gonna continue it, then yeah, you're right. They should probably change actors.
Right.
However, they
Well-
should. I mean, it would have to be a reboot then.
Right.
of
No,
Venom.
no. I think they should reboot Venom, but kind of keep him close to the same, but reboot him a little bit. Have Peter Parker maybe get an internship. Or something somewhere, Now that the
What they
storyline's gonna
could
be
do,
weird.
what they could do, is what they did again in the comics. Eddie Brock stopped being Venom after a while. So after this Venom Carnage movie that's going to come out that Sony's making, if it doesn't include Spider-Man, if he gets added into the MCU, and again, this is all an if. This is an if deal. But what they could do is Flash Thompson could become Venom, like in the comic
Right.
books. However, I don't like that idea because I hate this Flash Thompson. I
What's
don't
wrong
like.
with Flash Thompson?
I don't
I'm
hate
not-
him.
I'm not
He's
disputing you. I just
not
wanna
the guy
hear
from the
why.
comics.
It's not even that he's not the guy from the comics. He's not. He doesn't embody the Flash Thompson that I know. It's just like, and that's not to say.
But he's a
that
flying
he has,
Flash Thompson.
He's
just
annoying.
not. He doesn't.
He's a bully. He gets.
Isn't Flash Thompson a bully? Isn't
Yes,
Flash
he's-
Thompson
he's the
annoying?
bully.
Isn't
Yeah.
he?
But he gets
Are we returning
wrecked
to
a
the Flash
lot
Thompson?
more than he should by Peter Parker and by
Are we
Spider-Man.
referring to the Flash Thompson in the
MCU,
with the
yes.
Tom,
We are.
with the Tom Holland?
Yes.
Yes,
Flash
with
Yes.
Tom Holland MCU. I think Flash needs to be more dominant than he is, and not just some witty wisecracker.
What about they work it out like this? So because he idolizes Spider-Man so much and finds out he's Peter Parker, he's like, oh, I can do that, and then finds the symbiote and is able to become Venom. And in the first movie,
That's true.
they end up being like super enemies, and they go out, like, so Venom is trying to outperform Spider-Man
Yeah.
and be a
Yeah,
hero,
and then
and
they have
then
to fight.
and then they have to fight, and then after that he's kind of more of an anti-hero.
Yes.
And they kind of
Yes.
they still they wit each other, they wit against each other and do all the normal Marvel
hero
stuff.
rivalry.
But
Yeah.
it's a hero rivalry and like a buddy cop movie. And it would be I think with like a
Yeah.
Spider-Man Venom movie where they fight Carnage. That would be a movie
That
I would
Yes,
see.
that would be a
so
great
awesome.
movie.
But that's how I think they'd have to work it out if they want to
Anybody
use Flash
hear
Thompson.
the rumor about Deadpool being in MCU?
Yes.
I heard that, but I didn't.
I
took
want
it-
that
I took it with a grain of
so
salt.
bad.
Dude,
That's
that,
my-
But
that
I
would
know
be
it's not gonna
so-
happen.
Hey, you
but-
never know.
But if they let him into the MCU, the problem is every movie he's in will be get rated R.
No, every movie they'll make Ryan Reynolds take it down. Otherwise,
You
he
think they'd
won't be
make him
playing
tone
the
it
role.
down?
They
Oh,
can't make him tone
no.
it down. They
And
won't.
I think his own
he is
movies-
Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds isn't Ryan Reynolds.
But not every
Ryan
movie
Reynolds
he's
is
in.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
not
no matter what
not
part
every
it-
movie he's in has to be
Detective
R.
Pikachu.
I think they just use him in cameos.
They made a PG-13. Like they took out the
They
R
did do
part.
that.
Of,
Yeah, I
Deadpool.
definitely think if they do make a Deadpool movie in the MCU, it will be R-rated. But if he makes cameos in the MCU, I think
Yeah.
it'll be PG.
So
I
Deadpool
mean, there was
2.
the one after Infinity War, right, where he's snorting the Avengers.
Deadpool 2 was R-rated. But it
Yes.
was different from Deadpool 1 in that there was no explicit content. It was just vile language. Like Deadpool 2
And violence. Let's not
yes,
forget,
extreme violence and vile language.
sticking a wire up somebody's butt and then setting it, being electrocuted. That's not always.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
really.
I don't know if
Just
that
to
would
get
survive
into
as
that
PG. Seeing
No,
a
it
CGI
wouldn't.
man's butt is not exactly
No,
something
it
you put in
wouldn't.
a.
Well, if they did a wide shot, it would have been okay.
Yeah, it would.
Let's censor that and maybe we can get it to PG-13. But
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, Deadpool 2 was a cleaner movie than Deadpool 1, even R-rated,
True.
True.
That's true. But
which means that Ryan Reynolds has the capability,
To at least turn it down a little bit.
like,
especially
to make
for-
it PG-13 for movies.
Especially, I think it is a supporting role. He'll be
Yeah.
able to make it PG-13, especially if more of his fighting stuff is off screen. And he can still make the remarks and stuff.
I
But
don't want them to have to reboot Deadpool though. If
No,
they
they should
cast
not.
somebody
no,
else
no,
as
I will.
Deadpool, I'm
they
not
should.
gonna watch
Yeah,
it.
no, because they're gonna try and do the same thing and fail at it.
Exactly. So, But if they do end up incorporating Deadpool into MCU, then that means that they incorporate X-Men into MCU. Because Deadpool is a member of the
they could do it as
X-Men
a
franchise.
different universe, like that he
True.
came from an alternate dimension, and now he's in the MCU dimension, along with all the new X-Men that look different. And he
Yeah,
could make
that-
jokes about,
yes.
hey, you look different,
Like
or
Scarlet
something like
Witch
that.
and,
Yeah,
That's what they kind of did
yeah.
with Captain
like,
Marvel.
weren't you a kid, or like we're Quicksilver? Like that would be that you make jokes about
Yeah.
that and inside, and that would work. I want to see who they cast as Wolverine.
Oh,
Because Wolverine is my favorite character of all time, and literally, it's really hard, to recast him from Hugh Jackson, who did an amazing job in every movie. Even X-Men Origins Wolverine, he still did a good job, no matter how bad that movie
That
was.
wasn't his fault.
Right, that's
No,
what I'm
that's
saying.
That was
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is it
Yeah, like-
wasn't his fault.
Oh, it was like filmmaking, writing.
He played the Wolverine part
Right,
in
no,
that movie
that's exactly.
perfectly. Wolverine was...
Hugh Jackson. They literally was one and the same.
Jackman.
Jackman. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, you're good, but like Wolverine, him in that movie, it was a perfect role. He played it
Right.
perfectly.
Yeah.
And for the supporting characters that were there, they were all right. But like, I think that's where Ryan Reynolds got the idea in his start from X-Men Origins. We got to give it some credit for that.
Right.
Yeah, that's what he got the idea. Like,
For Deadpool.
Right.
yes.
Now, I have an article here saying that there will be a Venom 2 in 2020 directed by Andy Serkis, who played Ulysses
Yeah,
Claw
that's what I
in
heard.
Ultron and...
Black Panther.
Yes. And has a projected release date of October 2nd, 2020. I think they can do it.
That's
and
going to
they-
be the Venom Carnage movie that we're waiting for.
Even if it's not a good movie, they will get money from it simply because people
Yeah.
want to see if it will be
Well, yeah,
good.
of course.
That's what happened to the last one.
I mean, yeah, but the last one was garbage. Not terrible.
Disappointing.
It's just
Dis-
hit and miss. There was good things about it, and then there was a lot of bad
Disappointing.
I'm excited to see Woody Harrelson as Carnage
Oh.
because
I
know he can pull it off.
That
if they give him,
I was so
if the writers
that
and the
was the
directors
most
give him a
amazing
good-
part of the whole Venom movie when
True.
Woody Harrelson came in as Cletus Cassidy.
Like-
He's like the Joker.
Yeah, I know.
He's like
versatile.
so it's
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I think they cast him mostly for these
It's
natural
like-
born killers.
it brought me back to Mark Hamill's Joker voice acting
God.
in
Oh.
Batman the Animated Series, and I was like, this man is perfect for this role.
Wait, have
Like,
you s-
I
What were you
keep
saying?
forgetting his name, and I shouldn't because this is it's an iconic role. But who, Joker in Dark Knight series?
Heath Ledger.
Heath
Yes.
Ledger, yes. Excuse me, I apologize. But Heath Ledger Joker is like Woody Harrelson Carnage is Heath Ledger Joker. Like this is gonna be
I think
amazing.
it's gonna be like that. where
I
it's
think
just
I don't
gonna
think
be
it's gonna be the same level of
iconic.
insane
Yeah, like
comedy
Oscar-winning.
gold, like an insanity. Like I don't think it's gonna be like that.
It's definitely not gonna be as
But
iconic.
no one can do
ever
it.
would
no one
be.
can like.
Not
But
even
this,
Joaquin
but this
Phoenix.
isn't. But this isn't DC Universe, and
True.
this isn't Batman. So we're gonna get our own Heath Ledger in the Marvel Universe.
Yes.
With
Yes.
this movie, with
Woody
Woody Harrelson playing Carnage.
I
think
love
that's what's
Woody
gonna
Harrelson.
happen.
Yeah.
He's never really done a terrible job, and
Yeah.
he can play almost anything. which
Now
is
You
awesome.
See Me movies.
Yep.
The new one that just came out. What is it? It's
Zombie-
a new
Zombieland 2.
Zombieland 2.
Two.
That he's done a great job in
Have you
that.
Hunger Games he was in.
Hunger
Natural Born
Games.
Killers.
Natural Born Killers.
A
yeah,
lot of
a
movies. He's
lot
done
of
a great
movies,
job.
He did one with Milos Forman. I can't remember. It's underrated. But he's a great actor. He can do any role, and he's versatile.
Yeah. So speaking of the Joker, why don't we move on
That's a good
to
segue.
the new Joker preview that came out,
The
and
final
That's
trailer.
true. The
it,
final
it,
trailer.
it looks
for
really
22.
good.
It does.
Yes, it
It
does.
does.
That reminds
Now,
me of 1970s.
DC's being smart about this, and I like that they're only putting out. They put out a teaser and then this one trailer. That's all they're doing.
Yeah, like the old days. Like back in
That's
the
good. Like
70s.
we get one trailer and we don't know what's gonna happen.
If we get I don't think we're gonna get like a surprise trailer like we did with Endgame.
Yeah.
but it's not, I mean it's not that level of movie.
No.
It can't.
No,
be.
it's more gritty.
But I think that with this, I do agree with you. They're doing good. It's 2 trailers,
Yes.
one teaser, and a full trailer. And when's it gonna be released again?
October.
October.
Yeah.
That's close.
And
This is
it-
a close enough date to where we can wait and anticipate a month, the whole of
have time to
September,
theorize.
and then have it in
to
October.
analyze.
Yeah.
Perfect Halloween.
And I
Okay.
definitely
Perfect.
Who's gonna see it on Halloween?
I definitely think that
I would love to see it on Halloween.
Oh,
just so I can
same.
be
But I have a
extra
podcast
spooky.
that game.
I definitely think that this is putting DC on the right track. They started to get after what was Justice League, which
Yeah.
is not
The
something we
dumpster
really
fire.
want to talk about.
Justice League.
You know, Aquaman
Oh.
started getting them a little bit back on track.
Yeah.
I was not a super
Aquaman
fan of
was pretty
Aquaman.
good. Yeah, that
I
was.
was actually not a super fan of Aquaman, but it was better than Justice League. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
for
true.
sure. And then I really liked Shazam, which
Oh,
came out.
Shazam was
That was a
good.
good movie.
Shazam, I was okay. So I'm gonna admit, like, I was disappointed with Shazam at first. Like, when I was watching the movie, it was just like, this doesn't feel like. But I got, like, for me, it was like I realized I gotta stop expecting comic book level quality.
Right.
And so once it got towards the middle of the movie, I was just like, this is where they're going with this. And then, no spoilers here if you haven't seen it, because it is still pretty relevant and new. But the end of the movie, it blew me away.
It was good.
It was
Yeah, it
just
was.
really
It
good.
was really
Really.
good, and it stuck with that. You know, it stuck with the theme the entire way, which I really liked.
And
You know,
that,
that
did
theme
that's
remind
important
me
for
of
a
comic
superhero
book
movie.
moment.
right,
And
especially that scene
yeah.
at the end, where they all, you know, that scene at the
Captain
end
Marvel
really,
is a really good character. And I do,
Well,
like, that's the only
the
thing
different Captain Marvel. Let's
Yes.
Yeah.
the other Captain Marvel has not been as great
okay,
of a character. in the
no.
movies.
Brie Larson, I'm sorry, but we all have said this before, but you don't live up to the Carol Danvers legacy. I'm sorry. We should have just got Marvel, and that should have been our Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Let's see. So after that, and now with this new
Negabans
Joker,
would have been so great.
Now with this new Joker movie, that really, I think that's gonna turn out well for DC, because they've had, if this Joker movie doesn't flop, which it doesn't look like it's going to.
No.
No.
It
No, it's a low-budget
it
movie.
looks really good. Joaquin Phoenix looks really good in
Yes,
it.
he's
Robert De Niro is a great
Oh.
actor. If this doesn't flop, this starts to get them back on track to what they were trying to do.
I'm curious about who's going to be the quote unquote. I don't know how to word this right. What's going to be the opposite end? Because you have Joker, where he's madman, he's crazy, he's the quote unquote villain. But like, who's going to be the good? I don't know how to.
The
word it.
antagonist,
Yeah.
hero, the
Like,
hero
who's gonna be on the
antagonist in
opposite end of
Joker.
the spectrum.
No one.
No one.
He's
No,
no.
it's
they're,
just-
they're not gonna. This is gonna be a solo movie. That's what I feel
Yeah.
like
I
this
think
is gonna
this
be.
is
Joker's origin story, and Joker coming about to be Joker.
Yeah, and obviously Robert De Niro looks to be like the antagonist to your protagonist,
Yeah.
but it's really, they're both bad people.
Yeah,
like
they are.
that's the whole
It's
thing.
a bit.
Nobody's good
yeah.
here. Everyone's
It's
just,
a low life becoming
Everyone's
a
just
super
garbage.
criminal
Yeah.
versus the businessman that made
Yeah.
him the super criminal.
Yeah. So a bad guy versus another
Another
bad
bad
guy. It's real life. Like that's
Yeah.
more what real life
Yeah.
is than a good guy versus a bad guy. They're
exactly.
Everybody has an agenda, and now I'm glad that movies are starting to show this instead of the good guy versus the bad guy.
It's revenge and retaliation.
Yep.
exactly.
yeah.
This kind of reminds me
Gotham's, as he says in the teaser, he goes, Gotham lost its way, which makes you
Yeah.
think he's fed up with this and he wants revenge.
Yeah.
Doesn't this remind you a little bit of Taxi Driver, a little bit like, for Travis? It's like, if, like, antagonist, like, mad about the world, all that stuff. Like, he's want to take action to his own hands.
Yeah, it does sound like that.
Yeah,
It's- It's like nobody's doing anything.
Yeah.
I will.
yeah. Yeah, he thinks he's doing the right thing.
What I noticed was interesting in the trailer is other people were they were rebelling too. Like people were like fighting against the
Yeah.
cops, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which means he has a following in this movie, which
Yeah.
I think is
Yes.
cool because he's not alone. He has a following. People are like,
It's
oh, yeah,
becoming
that
a
makes sense.
movement.
Yeah, move.
Yeah, it's not just the Joker. It is.
He's the clown prince
It's
of
an
crime.
ideology now.
Yeah.
Like and I like that you see that in this movie. Where like, oh, this is my people backing me. It's not just my goons. It's people agree with me.
You gotta remember that, like, with what you said about could there be antagonist hero, we gotta remember Joker's origin story was after Batman's creation. Bruce Wayne was Batman before there was a Joker.
Correct.
So, could we see Batman towards the end of this movie? Or could we at least see Bruce Wayne
I don't
in
think
this
it's
movie?
necessary.
Who
I think
is going to be Bruce Wayne?
Because Ben Affleck isn't
gone.
going to be
Yeah.
Bruce
Correct.
Wayne or Batman
Yeah,
anymore.
it's been rumored it's been the guy from Twilight, Robert Pattinson, but I don't really like that, if we're going to be
I
on
kind of like
honesty.
it. I think it's good casting.
I do not like the casting whatsoever.
I think-
Robert Pattinson.
Do not show Batman or Bruce Wayne in this movie.
Yeah, that's how I
Don't, because I think we want it. It's a Joker movie.
Don't tease it. Don't nothing.
Don't do anything, because like just let this be about the
Yeah.
Joker.
And they
just
shouldn't.
please.
But we gotta like think about this. Like, it's quite possible that they could, like, even if it was an end credit scene, because that's what's been happening now with DC.
That's what I was gonna
They're
say.
adapting to Marvel style of teasers in the end credits. Like, that's what a lot of movies have started doing.
I think just let this be Joker, and like just let it be Joker. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
just don't put Batman in this. We don't need to see
Don't
that.
put too much information.
I just want to see Joker. Like that's what I want.
Let's think about this though. Okay, so off this movie, let's think about future tense. What are we gonna see future for Joker? Are we gonna see Batman and Joker movie? Are we going to see Batman v Joker? Are we going to see the death of Jason Todd? Entrance of
that would be awesome.
Red
Dick
Hood.
Grayson? Red Hood would be such a good intro for DC
Yeah.
Universe.
The
He would
animated
be-
ones have always been good.
Yes.
Yes, they have.
Yes, but that's something I would love to see. It was such an iconic moment when Joker kills Jason Todd. And if that happens in DCU and they bring him in, or at least get him to enter, and they show that kind of story, like, we haven't even seen a Batman movie in DCU yet. We haven't seen a Batman
I mean, like
movie.
just Batman.
Yeah, we
Just
haven't
Batman.
seen just
We
a
saw
Batman
Batman v
movie.
Superman.
Yeah, we
Suicide
saw
Squad.
all that
we saw
crappy stuff.
Superman, but Batman wasn't even like.
He hasn't had.
We've
his
gotten a
own
Wonder Woman movie, we've gotten an Aquaman movie, and we've got a Superman movie, and we're about to get all these other movies. I hear no intro or teaser about a solo Batman movie.
I think just wait 1 or 2 movies and then, or maybe just. And
I
then do
feel like
a
it's
Batman.
because they've done so many Batman movies that they're not
think
going to
they're
do
sick
it
of
yet.
it.
I think they're just taking the
That they're
time
not
to
going to
get
do
right.
it yet. Yeah. But I would still love to see that, and that would be something like my personal wish would be to
I could see
see
that
Jason Todd versus Joker, or to see Red Hood. That would be my personal dream for DCU.
I think let Joker pop up in Batman and then just let Joker have his own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Batman needs a villain. Joker, he does not.
No,
Or
he doesn't need a hero.
He doesn't need an
He doesn't
opposing
know.
Joker's
No, no,
fought Superman.
It's Joker versus society.
Yeah.
Joker's-
That's man versus society. That's what this is.
Yes.
Like, yeah, and that's what this movie is about. But in terms of, like, needing a specific hero, Joker always said in the comics that he was the tails to the head of Batman.
Yes.
But he's never needed Batman to
No.
be the Joker. He's fought Superman. He's fought Wonder Woman. He's fought so many other villains other than just Batman. Batman may need the Joker, but Joker never needed the Batman.
No. I think it would be cool. Maybe like, I don't know. Maybe do like Batman's parents or something.
No.
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 We never gotten a Martha and Thomas Wayne origin. We
When
don't
is-
need
when
one.
is
We
the
don't
Joker-
want
When
one.
is the Joker movie set?
The 70s.
It
But
says
we don't know.
nowadays.
We don't know where in the storyline in the 70s.
They
is.
said
Yeah.
they said it was 81 by an actor.
Because then we could.
Okay, 70s, 80s, but it's not
tease
set
Thomas
now.
and
I think it
Martha
would be.
Wayne and,
No,
like, let that
I don't
be
think it would be set now either. I think it would be like 80s, 90s.
But what it's set as is late
Because
70s,
he
early
becomes
80s.
the Joker.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could. It just maybe okay. So if you think about it this way, let's say if in fact it's set in 81, and he kills it. Let's just go off on a
Is he
tandem,
even in-
and
oh,
he ends
yeah,
up
he's in.
at the end credit scene. Maybe he kills Bruce's parents. Or this is just a guess.
Yeah.
This is if it 81 and to 2019, how I'm trying to think about what that would be. He would be 40 in 2021, so he'd be 38 when, and now,
Yeah.
would that be too late for somebody to become a Batman? Because Batman is normally
That's a good
starts around
question.
2025,
Yeah.
right? The age-wise, 2025. So, would being age 38, would that be too late to start? Or do they come in as him already being a Batman and him never actually finding out who killed his parents until the Joker one day shows up again? Or the Joker's prodigy or something shows up again or anything like that?
I don't really know. Like I said earlier, I was thinking that Batman was a thing before Joker was created. So that's why I didn't know why it was set in
but
kind of the 70s,
I also
80s
think that
timeline.
it could always be that Joker just wants to see the world burn, and that's what we've
Yeah.
always been hearing that. So it doesn't really matter. He just has to find something he foils against,
Yeah.
and then make that his only one in passion, right? He doesn't
His
always have to be
motivation.
against Batman, because if Batman wasn't there, Joker could still be Joker. He'd just have to find somebody else, like a Superman, like a like somebody
Yeah.
else. Joker is not only he's an amazing Batman villain, and it probably fits Batman the best. But he's
just
not only a
okay,
Batman.
so he, like I said, he has fought other villains, but I will say and put it out there that he was very disappointed and with other heroes that he'd fought. He said it wasn't as fun as Batman. In Injustice, I think we've all played Injustice before, the games and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I have.
in the
But
first
I've played it.
Injustice game, in the intro scene, Joker, okay, so this is gonna be spoilers because this game is years old.
Spoilers.
So
Just skip a few minutes if you don't
So-
want spoilers.
in the first credits scene, Joker has detonated a nuclear bomb in Metropolis, killed Lois Lane and Superman's unborn child after they've been married. And when Superman comes in as Batman is questioning Joker, why did you do this? What did you do this for? Why? This is about me. This has always been about you and me. And this is Batman talking to Joker. Superman busts in, and Joker's just there's the boy in blue. And Joker says, this is too old between me and you. I needed something new, and I thought this would be a challenge, but it was way too easy. It was too easy to beat Superman rather than beating you.
He wanted a higher level threat, and he did it.
He didn't get the higher level threat that he wanted. He
yeah.
committed mass genocide in a whole city with millions of people, and with Batman he'd never been able to do that before, and with Superman it was like that. It was easy to fool him, it was easy to beat him, and he'd wanted a different adversary, but he couldn't, and it was too old fighting Batman over and over again. But in the end he's just this was too easy. I shouldn't really I should have. I'm glad I killed all these people, but I wish I would have just kept fighting you instead because it was way too easy. And he didn't like not having a challenge.
I think it's because he didn't know that Batman is smarter than Superman. Easy, I think, because Batman.
Batman is smarter than
that's the whole
Superman.
point. Yeah.
That's
He's
the whole
a
point.
genius, and
Yeah.
Joker just, I don't know.
I don't know. We're gonna see. It's gonna be a good movie. I feel it. I
Yeah.
really think
Yeah.
it's gonna be a good movie.
With or without Batman, which I really don't think that there'll be a main Batman in the movie.
No, I don't either.
Maybe a
there's not
Bruce
gonna be
Wayne
any.
cameo at most as a child. Maybe. I don't know. But
Gotham, we saw that. A little
with
bit.
Gotham.
Yeah, we saw that a little bit.
But other
Much
than
better.
that, this isn't going to be a Batman movie. This is going to be...
a Joker movie.
Yeah,
This
just
is a Joker movie.
standalone
This is
Joker.
standalone. And this is going to be a great movie.
I agree.
I
Well,
agree too.
I think that's gonna be all for this week. We'll talk about some more next week. A few other topics depends on whatever comes up in the news. This is Nathan Gajari, and we're wrapping up for What's Popping.